It's round 5. It's the Rugby Championship, the greatest rugby championship of all time. Anyone can win it. Everyone has 2 losses. This is just an absolutely phenomenal round. The last 2 matchups, South Africa, Argentina, the Bledisloe Cup between New Zealand and Australia. Philip Bendon, what are you most excited for about in this round?
Oh gosh, there's so much to be excited for, Joe. I am excited to see how the Wallabies push the All Blacks at Eden Park. Oh no, at Perth, sorry, in Perth. How they push them down there. No, I'm right. It's Eden Park first up.
Yeah,
Yes,
Perth is the last game, and then
that's
it's Eden
exactly
Park
right.
this week.
Exactly right. I am so excited to see how the Wallabies push the All Blacks over these next 2 rounds. Eden Park, the record's there for the All Blacks. Will they maintain it? You would expect them to, but this Wallabies team are coming force, especially if they can figure out how to play rugby for the first 60 minutes of every match and not have to rely on the last 20 to beat teams. So yeah, that's what I'm most looking forward to. Los Pumas against Springboks, always really interesting. Argentina have only ever won once in South Africa. That was in Durban. They are playing again in Durban. So let's see how that goes too. So lots of storylines heading into this round.
Yeah, and the Argentina South Africa game in Durban is going to be streaming for free on the FloRugby YouTube and Facebook accounts. Do not miss that. 11 a.m. Eastern time on Saturday. It's going to be phenomenal. We'll start with that one because I think that is the match that a lot of people are going to have eyes on because this is how the Springboks can get back into this competition. And they lost to this team last year. What's your outlook? What are your feelings on this team?
Yeah,
This
it's gonna
match?
be it's gonna be a tight one, right? Both teams are coming up from Australia and New Zealand, so the travel factor is there for both sides. It's not like South Africa being at home and Argentina are coming across. Both teams are in South Africa. Um, yeah, it's gonna be a really tight one. I think it'll be really interesting. It depends which teams the Bucks pick. We obviously haven't seen the lineups at the time of recording just yet on this one, but if that South Africa team that turns up, that the one that did in Wellington, jeepers, I'm not sure anyone beats them. So my gut feeling is South Africa will overcome Argentina in this round, go to the top of the Rugby Championship, and set up that blockbuster at Twickenham, which should be a heck of a contest. So yeah, I just think the depth of the box bench will get them past Los Pumas. Is my gut feeling.
If you love big giant rugby teams playing each other, this is the match for you. Springboks obviously have so much size. Los Pumas a lot of size. Some of the best big players match. I mean, obviously, we talk about Eben Etzbeth all the time and Ox Notch, but Marcos Kramers and Julia Montoya for Argentina. I mean, these are big teams going at each other.
Yeah, big physical packs, big physical backlines, lots of pace. I saw something about the Australians that described Argentina as like the South American Fijians, as in they play such a fun brand of rugby. So that was quite cool. Um, yeah, big physical ball carriers, and actually, interestingly, I think that was part of one of the big parts of Argentina beating Australia was that they had that power coming off the bench, and I know Australia exploded into action in the final few minutes, but Argentina just worn them down throughout the match up to that point. So yeah, they can go toe to toe with anyone. It'll be really interesting to see how that goes. And again, depends who Rassi picks for the box, because if he picks that team that played in Wellington, jeepers, that's going to be very difficult to beat.
Switching gears, we're going to go back to the Pacific, the Bledisloe Cup. Starting a month ago when we were talking about this rugby championship, we talked an awful lot about South Africa ending the streak in Eden Park, and it was a big focus. And of course, that didn't happen. Can Australia do it?
Jeez, yeah, God, could you imagine if they do it, Joe? Oh, from what I saw of that All Blacks team, they are fragile and they're there for the taking. So yeah, I think they can do it. I think they can do it. I mean, it would have been the most unlikely of teams to do it coming into this, but yeah, they could do it. I still think the All Blacks will get it done. Would be my gut feeling. Just because if they win this, it'll be 10 in a row against the Wallabies that they've won. I still think they split the series. The Wallabies are going to win one of these at least. Oh, I'd love it to be Eden Park. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Well, we don't know what the team is for Australia quite yet. We don't know what the lineups are going to be. Obviously, Will Skelton missed the last match. Uh, we'll see what happens this week. I guess the big question I have is after the way the All Blacks lost against South Africa, would you bet more on them coming back strong, or do you think that that is going to reverberate and they're going to have a bit of a hangover after losing like that in this match?
I think they'll have a hangover. I know lots of New Zealanders have been saying, "Oh, when we lose like this, we come back really strong. We do this." I mean, and they might well do. That was as bad a loss I've ever seen the All Blacks take. I mean, including that thumping they took at Twickenham before the World Cup. And if you remember, then they went on to lose to France in the opening match of the Rugby World Cup. That one. So I just I don't think they have the quality there to do what they used to do. Like, they've got really great players, but they are not the pinnacle of rugby anymore. The Springboks are the pinnacle of rugby. I think we need to get quite real on that. The All Blacks are not ahead of, there's nothing between probably the top 8 teams in the world generally. And I don't think the All Blacks just have a divine right to come back because they got beaten. And that's what seems to be what the New Zealand media are saying, that they think that they will just bounce back. I don't see it happening, no.
Okay, so we've got the breakdown. So now the big question here, Philip, who are you picking in these two matches?
Yeah, so I'm picking the Bucks to beat Argentina just based on what we saw last time out. I mean, both teams are great, but I think the Springboks just edge that one. And oh, why not? Let's have a bit of fun. I'm backing the Wallabies to do it. The Wallabies beat the All Blacks at Eden Park. Let's do it.
Yeah, so I'm right there with you. I think the Springboks are going to probably have their way with Argentina, if I'm being honest. I think that Argentina definitely is kicking themselves for agreeing to a match in Twickenham instead of having a home match. I think South Africa is going to win that. I think that I don't know why they wouldn't do the same team that just crushed the All Blacks. I think they're going to be number one. I think they're going to be number one. Here's my prediction. I think South Africa is only going to be eclipsed at number one by Ireland. I think it's going to be South Africa and Ireland at number one all the way until the next Rugby World Cup. So I think that they get it, and I think they're going to be number one for a long time, probably until they play Ireland, and then we'll see what happens. I think those are the two best teams in the world right now, outside of France, which we've talked about. I think France at full strength is number one, but I think France is going to be full strength too much to keep that number one ranking, if that makes sense. The way the top 14 season is, France does not always have its best teams in the summer where they lose matches like they did this year to to the All Blacks. In that game at Eden Park, I think it's going to be an absolute barn burner of a match. I think it's going to be the best match. I think that the Wallabies smell blood. I think they're going to come out and they're going to play their best game. And I am taking the All Blacks because I think the All Blacks are going to have to show some pride. And again, like they have Artie Sevilla on that team, they have the Barrett brothers. They have guys that do not want to lose in Eden Park. They do not want that streak to end. I think that that is a match that is going to look a lot like the matches, those close matches we saw them play against France. I think that that's going to be just really fun. If you want to stay up late in the United States, that match is at around 1 a.m. on the East Coast. I would highly recommend. I think it's going to be the best international match of the series. That is my hot take, Phil.
I love it, Joe. I love it. Yeah, I agree. I think it's going to be a phenomenal game. My hot take from this whole thing is only one of the Barrett brothers is an elite player, and that is Geordie. The other two are past it, in my opinion. So there we go. We've each got a
All
hot
right.
take.
Name is Phil Bendon. You can follow him on Twitter, New Zealand fans.
Just DM me. I'll definitely get back to you. Yeah.
So one of the really great things we have, Philip, this year for Prim Rugby's opening weekend is we're doing the Athletes Lounge. If you don't know what the Athletes Lounge is, we've done it on Flow Track for the Diamond League. Basically, we get some of the top analysts in the world to come in and do a Manning Cast style broadcast right here in the studios in Austin, Texas. We have a star-studded lineup of guests. It's going to be phenomenal. Dallin Stanford is the host. He has covered many rugby World Cups. He is a former U.S. Sevens player, U.S. Rugby Sevens player. He's from South Africa. Really exciting to have this live broadcast on Friday. And then we're going to do it again for the final round of the Rugby Championship.
Yeah, no doubt, Joe. It's going to be really exciting. Dallon's going to do a great job. Anyone who's seen his work will know he is an absolutely phenomenal analyst. So stay tuned on that. And as Joe said, I don't know if we're allowed to leak the guests, but there are some phenomenal guests lined up for this one. So it's going to be a really unique experience for rugby fans to watch rugby like this, right? Like the Manning cast has done so well with the NFL and it's been so engaging, and it's nice to actually hear those experts kind of explaining what's happening and how things are going throughout a day and how matches are playing out. So I think it's a really unique experience that Flo are offering that actually I don't see anyone else offering. So yeah, I'm going to be tuning in for sure.
My only hint here is if you love rugby in the United States, you won't want to miss this because we do have some really good guests. And we have one really big guest who's coming into the studio. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be free on Facebook and YouTube, but also on the platform. So do not miss it. Again, that's going to be about 2:30 p.m. Friday Eastern time for round one of Prim Rugby. It's going to be during the Bath match and the Newcastle Red Bulls match. So we're going to be following two matches. Obviously, a lot of games. And then we're going to do it again for the final game of the Rugby Championship in Twickenham. We'll be live in studio. So, again, don't miss it.